From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at Noon, streaming now.
Thank you so much for joining us here for the News at Noon. I'm Nicole Griffin. Lauren Casey has the afternoon off. Our Alyssa Donovan is standing by. And Alyssa, I was just out on my break. It is sunny and hot already.
Yes, I know that humidity has creeped back into the forecast. We had some gorgeous, nice, quieter weather last week, but now that heat and humidity has returned. Already 83 degrees in Indianapolis. Feels a little bit hotter than that just because that humid air starting to settle in. Fairly quiet on the radar right now. We have had a few quick thunder showers move through the area this morning. A lot of that has tapered off. Can't rule out seeing a stray shower or pop-up storm this afternoon, though, just as we see a little bit of convection later today as we start to see that humidity rising. Besides that, though, mostly sunny skies, a little bit more cloud coverage this afternoon, and then that will clear out overnight. Overnight lows going to be in the 70s. We're just starting this warming up. As we head through the week, we're going to warm up even more. Today, we're going to reach that high right around 4 or 5 p.m. 90 degrees expected. That will be our first 90 degree in August if we hit it today. If we don't hit it today, we will definitely hit it tomorrow because those 90 degree temperatures are here with us for the next couple days before we drop back down towards the weekend. That's when we have a better chance of showers and storms as well. All of those details coming up in just a few minutes.
Alyssa, thank you. The new numbers on COVID-19 are just in from the state health department. There was a small increase in new cases from yesterday with 688 new positive tests reported. The health department also reports 5 new coronavirus deaths. The state says overall numbers will now be a little higher as they are now including positive tests for COVID-19 antibodies in their daily reports. Today is the first day of class for a number of colleges, and for students at Butler University, they are starting their school year online. Last night, Butler announced that its students would do virtual learning only for the first 2 weeks of the fall semester. It's because Butler was concerned over a lack of compliance from students and following COVID-19 safety guidelines. Butler says at least 75 students were in close contact with people who are positive for COVID-19. They have all been placed in quarantine. Students who live on Butler's campus will be allowed to remain there. Classes also began today at Purdue University and at IU's Bloomington campus. Administrators at both schools warned students about attending large off-campus gatherings. In Bloomington, the mayor issued an executive order limiting gatherings to no more than 15 people. It came after reports of students holding large parties just last week. IU also began randomly testing students for COVID-19. They will test up to 12,000 students, faculty, and staff each week as they hope to stop a campus outbreak before it starts.
But only the antigen test allows us to have an answer in 20 to 30 minutes, which is what we need to know. How are you right now, and can we let you move into a dorm? It is likely we will have some false negatives. We own that. We expect that we will not be perfect. But again, more is better than good when it comes to broad-based public health.
Dr. Carroll says there is a chance a student will get a false positive test and still be asked to quarantine, but he says they would rather err on the side of caution. Another Indiana school district is moving to e-learning because of COVID-19 exposure. Today, Clinton County Schools announced that junior and senior high school students would switch to remote learning for the next 2 weeks. Those students will then switch to a hybrid attendance schedule. Elementary school students in Clinton County will change over to e-learning for 1 week and then return to a normal schedule. Administrators say 10 people in the Clinton County District have tested positive for COVID-19, but about 1/4 of junior and senior high school students have to quarantine because they are considered close contacts. They did not protest in person as they had planned, but some Hamilton Southeastern parents are demanding their kids be allowed to return for in-person learning. Elementary students in the district will soon return using a hybrid model, but Hamilton Southeastern's 5th through 12th graders remain all virtual. Parents say other Hamilton County students are back in the classroom at least part-time, and they are also concerned about how teachers will manage the hybrid model. Here's what Hamilton Southeastern superintendent said in a video posted to social media.
Based on observations of other schools that are now in session, we anticipate student absences, and we want our elementary students to know that whether they are virtual or in person, their teacher is constant and that they can count on that teacher to be there for them.
Parents had planned a demonstration against virtual learning this morning, but they say they canceled out of a fear of retaliation. They say they plan to monitor the next Hamilton Southeastern School Board meeting. It is scheduled for this Wednesday evening. Indianapolis Public Schools is partnering with community organizations to help kids during remote learning. The Student Support Network sites are now open on a rolling basis. Each will be open to no more than 90 students and will offer access to remote learning assistance and training, small group classroom supervision. Students can also get breakfast and lunch. Sites will adhere to the CDC, local and state COVID-19 guidelines. Masks are also required. For more information on how to register, just click on this story on the WRTV app. More protests are likely in Kenosha, Wisconsin today. Some protests turned violent last night, just hours after police officers shot a black man 7 times in the back. That victim remains in serious condition right now. Scripps reporter Adriana Mendez is outside the Kenosha County Courthouse with the very latest.
Several police officers are still lined up out on the sidewalk outside of that courthouse building. On the building, you can see graffiti spray painted in some areas, and several windows were smashed out during some overnight unrest here in the city. Now, things are very quiet this morning, which is a stark contrast to what we saw overnight. All this unrest comes after an officer-involved shooting that happened near 28th and 40th Street. Here is cell phone footage of that incident taken by a witness. A man identified as 29-year-old Jacob Blake is seen walking away from officers heading towards the driver's side of the vehicle, and that's when he was shot by police. He was taken by Flight for Life, and we are told he is listed in serious condition. We did reach out to the hospital for an update on his condition, but we were told they could not provide that to us at this time. Now, this shooting was the catalyst for overnight looting, vandalism throughout the city of the downtown area. Several businesses are destroyed this morning, and at one point, police had to use tear gas to control the overnight crowd. Now, the officers involved had been placed on administrative leave, and the Department of Justice is investigating the shooting. They hope to have a report to the prosecutor within the next 30 days.
That was Adriana Mendez with that report. A heads up on those peaches you may have recently bought. The FDA has expanded a recall on fresh peaches that could be infected with salmonella. The peaches are being sold at major grocery stores across the country, and the FDA says that now includes Walmart, Target, Kroger, and Aldi stores. You'll want to look for the loose or bagged peaches that were either packed or supplied by Prima Wawona. If you have peaches and you are not sure where they came from, the FDA says you should just throw them away. It is the Republicans' turn to have the presidential campaign spotlight, but coming up next, we'll show you how some within the political party are using the first night of their convention to endorse the president's Democratic opponent. Alyssa.
And we are in store for a beautiful day. Temperatures climbing into the low 90s today. Will continue climbing tomorrow and into Wednesday. Things take a turn on Thursday. That's when we have showers and storms in the forecast into the weekend. I'll have the details coming up next.
A slimmed-down Republican National Convention is underway today in Charlotte, North Carolina. At this hour, President Trump is formally receiving the delegate votes to officially make him his party's nominee. Despite most of the convention speeches being given remotely, Trump and Vice President Mike Pence are expected to appear in person in Charlotte sometime today. Tonight's speakers will also include Mark and Patricia McCloskey. They're the Missouri couple who faced criminal charges for waving guns at peaceful protesters who were marching by their home. More than 24 former Republican members of Congress are using the first day of the party's convention to formally endorse Democratic candidate Joe Biden. Former Arizona Senator Jeff Flake is the most prominent name from the group, calling itself Republicans for Biden. Flake clashed with President Trump frequently before he retired from the Senate just last year. He's expected to talk more about the group's formation this afternoon. Schools are working to keep students at a distance from each other in class, but there are parts of the school building where that simply is not possible. Coming up, we ask the experts whether that's boosting the risk of spreading COVID-19. Welcome back to the news at noon. Alyssa Donovan standing by. Alyssa, if anyone has plans outside today, heading out for lunch, they need to be prepared. It's pretty warm.
Yeah, that heat and humidity has built back in. We had some really nice days last week where it felt a little bit more like fall, but today summer has returned. Temperatures are climbing into the 90s this week. These are likely going to be the first 90-degree temperatures that we see in August. We haven't had any this month so far, so if we don't hit them today, we will definitely hit them tomorrow. And it's going to feel fairly tropical this week. We have this moisture coming in from the Gulf that's helping bring us that humidity. We're going to continue to see rain chances as we head into the weekend. The first couple days of this week, though, going to be fairly dry. We just have a small chance of a spot storm today. Besides that, though, staying dry. Partly cloudy right now in Indianapolis, 83 degrees, feels a little bit more like 88 because of that humid air in the forecast. Winds coming in from the south, that's helping usher in that more humid air that's just to the south of us. And you can see on our TrueCast, partly cloudy skies across the area later this afternoon, and then just a small chance of an isolated pop-up shower or storm as we head into that early evening hour, and that's just due to that convection as we see that humidity building over the forecast area. Overnight tonight, a lot of that cloud coverage will clear out. We'll see those clear skies, and then we are going to see more heat building in. So that trough is going to pass. High pressure is going to be in control for the first half of the week. That's going to help usher in that warmer air. So 90 degrees for our daytime high today, 93 on Tuesday. That humidity is going to continue to rise as well. So Tuesday is likely going to be the most uncomfortable day in the forecast with plenty of sunshine. Wednesday staying warm, and then we have some changes coming as we head towards the tail end of the work week. So feels a lot more like summer today, and then we are going to see that tropical moisture coming in from the south. That's going to interact on Thursday with a cold front that's going to push through. So what does that mean? We're going to see the potential of showers and storms Thursday. Our best chance of seeing some heavier downpours is going to be on Friday, and then into Saturday and Sunday we'll continue to see the remnants of that lingering over central Indiana, but our best chance of that heavier downfall is going to be on Friday. Temperatures are going to drop off as well at that time as that cold front passes. Today, though, it's going to be a hot one. 89 by 2 p.m., 90 by 4 p.m., and then we'll start to drop back off. We'll be in the 70s overnight. Still going to be fairly humid, though, as you start your Tuesday morning. Looking ahead to the next couple days, Tuesday, 93 for the high. That's going to be our hot and sunny day. Humidity is going to be making it very muggy and uncomfortable outside. Wednesday, 92, and then that cold front passes. That's when temperatures start to drop off. 82 by Saturday and Sunday. Chances of showers and storms Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
All right, Alyssa, thank you. Well, it is a scam you may not pick up on until money starts leaving your bank accounts. Tim Maniscalco with the Better Business Bureau has more on the stealthy way some criminals are trying to steal from you.
Yeah, this is called synthetic ID theft, and it's a new twist on stealing your identity. Here's how it works. The scammers, they're going to get a stolen or somehow get a social security number, and then what they're going to do is they're going to put an address on there that's an abandoned property, and they're going to put someone else's name, someone else's birth date, all that sort of stuff on the profile, and they're going to apply for credit. Now, what's going to happen is they're actually going to get denied the first time, and they know that, but that's going to actually create a report with the credit bureaus. What they're going to do then is they're going to attach that name to some legitimate accounts, and they're going to start charging some charges and things like that. But what happens is they're going to start building up a credit history with that kind of false synthetic account. Then at some point, they're going to have a good enough credit history that they will actually then start to charge lots and lots of money. They won't pay for any of this, obviously. And the credit card companies then are going to start backtracking, seeing, hey, who is this person? What is it? That type of thing. They're eventually going to track it back to that social security number that was original. And you, as the consumer, if that's your social security number, you may never even know this is happening until the bank comes to you and says, hey, you owe us a bunch of money. Because it's not your name on that credit card, it's not your name on that profile. They just created an entirely false synthetic sort of profile. So this is really, really hard for the consumer to detect until, really all the damage is done. So the bottom line here is you just want to be very, very careful about giving out your social security number. Only give that out to places that you know are going to be using it legitimately, and that you actually have to do that. But this is a real twist that the scammers have got out there now. This is called synthetic ID theft. And once again, it's hard to detect out there. So just be very, very careful with your Social Security number, because it can be used in a lot of different ways, and you may never know that it's being used to create a synthetic account.
All right, Tim, thank you so much. Well, you can find out more about this scam and others targeting your money at bbb.org. Schools that are holding in-person classes during the pandemic have taken a number of steps to make the classroom safe. But can the health of students and teachers be impacted by what happens in between classes? Lindsay Thies with our partners at Newsy takes a look.
As the school year starts, you might be wondering about the risks of getting sick with COVID-19. We asked the experts, how risky is changing class? Their take, the risk of contracting COVID-19 from changing class in the hallways is high risk.
It definitely gets higher risk once everyone is out in the hallway together. 6 feet distancing goes out the window, and that becomes pretty risky.
Having students in a hallway capacity where it's not supervised is a concern. Also changing classes. If you have to go up and down a stairwell, how many students can go up and down a stairwell before you know that you're no longer socially distancing? That's also a concern. So I would say that you will have moderate risk in changing classes, because there will be lots of students in the hallway. If they're all going to the cafeteria to pick up their lunches, for example, or if they're all just going outside to go home or to come in the morning, being in those hallways to get to those classrooms will raise the risk factor, depending on how many students are in those hallways at a time.
Just because you're out of class doesn't mean you can take your face mask off. So keeping your face mask on is going, whether you're in class or in the hallway, is going to be very, very important. Face shields are very important to protect yourself, but not everybody has access to them, but they are becoming more and more prevalent. So having a face mask and a face shield is even better.
For more answers on what is low, medium, or high risk, visit newsy.com/what's the risk.
All right, well, still ahead here, it's a movie trailer some superhero fans say should have happened a long, long time ago. Plus, we'll have one more check of your forecast with Alyssa. You're watching the news at noon on WRTV. The recent virtual event at DC Fandom revealed a number of movies and other projects in production by DC Comics and Entertainment. This is not one of them, but fans of old school Superman and Wonder Woman might be wishing that it were. The YouTuber A-List Productions created a movie trailer for the Justice League movie that never was, but oh, what it might have been.
The Earth is threatened by the same fate as Krypton. Sometimes I don't know what to think about this.
Well, this is crazy.
You need to ask yourself, what kind of hero you gonna be? You were great in your day, Superman.
You can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs.
The trailer imagines the Justice League superheroes Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and the Flash battling Lex Luthor and the Joker. The end of the trailer says the movie is coming in the summer of 1993, Alyssa. No, today I was thinking it's probably a good day to get outside, but if you don't like the heat, maybe stay inside and watch a movie.
Yeah. If you're not a heat fan, today is not for you, and neither is tomorrow or Wednesday. But if you like the heat, get outside. 90 degrees for our high today. Sunny skies, maybe a spot storm this afternoon. Hot and sunny Tuesday and Wednesday as well. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, things take a turn. We have the potential of showers and thunderstorms in the forecast as we head towards the weekend.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. And thank you for making WRTV your choice for news. Join us for the news at 5. Have a great afternoon.